Well, at first I said, a what? And she said a dodecahedron, and I'm probably pronouncing that wrong.
What is that? She's like, a dodecahedron. I'm like, oh, sounds cool.
I looked it up on the computer with the spelling of a dodecahedron, and I went, wow, we can have one of those. And she's going to build it.
I've been interested in sacred geometry. The dodecahedron, is, like you said, is a 12-sided structure, and it is supposed to be the shape of the universe. In developing this idea of creating a really meditative space, I felt like it was the most pertinent shape.
When people come to the Black Dog Hill Shelter, we are unlimited stay, non-judgmental services. Black Dog Hill Shelter is the only shelter in a 5,600 square mile radius. If you look at the map of Minnesota, I am saying from St. Cloud, Minnesota over to the Wisconsin border and Blaine, Minnesota up to Duluth. We are it.
Oh my God, there's so many. Love it.
It was very fun, and it was sort of, the angles were very difficult. And it looked very hard to do.
There are 20 corners on the dodecahedron. I had to weld a custom bracket at the perfect angle in order to make the pentagon shapes. All of the fittings for the windows had to be cut at these odd numbers, and there was flex with the wood, so every piece of wood had to be different, every angle was different. And it has that quirky feel, which I really appreciate because it has the warmth of a building that's been handmade. It sort of has a meditative, cathedral-like quality having those windows because they're so irregular and they're peaked. It has this sort of church-like energy, but it's not related to any religion. It's just sort of a vastness of space that can open the mind and heart.
She's warm today.
I've never been in here.
Oh, well, welcome to the dodecahedron.
That is a ladybug made by some of the kids. They are scattered throughout the dodeca. All three of them made little creatures to live.
Is this a dinosaur?
It's a dragon.
A dragon?
Yeah.
And that is let me see it. That's a Minnesota skunk. Absolutely everybody who wanted to was involved with the project. There's a stamp, there's a piece, there's a part of that building that is each and every child that was here at the shelter.
I told the teacher, my history teacher, he said, what did you do this summer? I said, I built a dodecahedron. He's like, what's that? A dodecahedron? I'm like, he's like, is that a foreign language? I'm like, no.
The best part of this project was working with the kids at the shelter and teaching them how to use tools. We had one team member that was very special that came out every day to work on the project, and it was this amazing experience of watching her build her skill level. I think that watching her become really empowered sort of gave me this conviction of bringing arts education to the shelter as a way to empower the kids and break the cycle of abuse.
We've got a couple of kids that are very, very active and want that interaction. Some of them are coming from homes that are suppressed homes. In other words, kids are not supposed to speak or act out. They are not to yell, they are not to scream, they are not to run. So once we had this project, and Jess being the kid lover that she is, it was like it took on a life of its own.
To see their pride in the project, when they tour you in the space and show it off, there's a sense of ownership and confidence. And I had no idea that that was going to be a part of the project. I think if I were to do it again, I would make that a super important factor, and I would have the kids, it would be an educational training tool for them to learn how to build.
It makes me feel proud that I built it.
Have you showed it to anyone? Like the
Yeah.
residents?
And they thought it was really cool.
Yeah?
And I told them that I built it, and they're like, you built this? I'm like, yeah, I did.